Yes.
Oh.
No.
You know,
Don't
what's so
leave.
funny? It's like,
This meeting is being live streamed and your choices are leave meeting or got it. Could you imagine? I'm like, sorry.
It's
No.
happened before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or somebody just thought, well, somebody thought you had to leave the meeting to join it.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, no.
that sounds like something I might do.
That's an interesting choice.
Okay, there we go. Oh, cool. It's working. Ah.
Hey.
All right. Now we're waiting on Miss Tardy Pants.
It's fashionably late.
Fashionably late.
Fashionably late, darling.
Don't worry, darling. It's
Late.
fashionably late.
Here, let's see. I can text her.
Oh,
She'll love it.
you're also both in polka dots.
Oh my God.
Oh, snap.
Sarah?
Liz.
Yeah, I know. I
Which is
did, and we
really
didn't.
according to
There was
the-
no memo even. I'm just gonna try texting Alice.
Actually, we all really go together since you're in Blackmare.
Yeah.
Nice.
If Alice comes on in yellow,
Oh,
Yes.
that'd be
You
amazing.
have synergy.
I thought you were gonna say if Alice comes on and yells at us. Like, oh no, should I not text her? Okay.
What is that straw? Why does it have a thing at the top?
it's a metal straw. I'm going full Brooklyn right now. I'm drinking homemade mint tea out of a mason jar with a metal straw with a silicone top on the top, and it's so you don't bite down on the metal straw.
Oh,
I love
you don't want
that.
to ruin your teeth. That's a good idea.
Right?
That's awesome.
All right, let's see if
You
I
have
hear
an
anything.
issue cleaning those things?
Write it. I want one of those.
Eh.
You want one? Okay. I don't know if this is clean. I don't know. It was in the drawer.
I have a little like plastic scrubber thing that I put inside of the straws when I have to use those. So I'm super anal about that. Oh,
Oh
there she
yeah,
is.
me too. Is she coming?
She's here.
Yeah,
Alice
look at
is
that
here.
picture. Oh,
Oh, that's a good picture.
it really is.
Now watch, she's not going to use her camera. That would be hilarious.
He's zooming in. Oh, there she
Yes.
is.
Oh, oh. Windows. Is that
Sharing
going to be your
your
background?
Sal?
Stop. What the fuck? Okay, I got it. Right?
Oh, it's darkness.
Whoa. What the fuck is going on?
That's one version of you.
I already finished my tea. God.
Oh, man. There she is.
There she is.
Boom.
She made it. Look at her.
Alice is here.
I
And on
hate
her
it.
board.
I panicked because I heard I like looked at my calendar and this said this was in person. And so I was like, do I need to go somewhere? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know what color, it's freaking me out.
Where are you, Colorado, Tyler?
Oh, yeah. I was about to say that'd
Yeah.
be a really fun last minute. Hey, guys, I'm in LA. We're doing this, right?
Like we're
Sunset?
or you're in Colorado and I'm like rushed driving to the airport at like 90 miles an hour,
Oh, my God.
like speeding over the medians. Like
I'd feel
I gotta
so
go
bad.
to Colorado now. It's in
Are you going to
person.
Patience? Very funny. I need to go to Denver.
both hands on the when you go to buy the ticket window, like in front of the line.
I gotta go now.
We got everybody here. This is awesome. I want to say really quick, like, thank you for all of you, for coming back and joining the show for this awesome reunion. I think I brought it up in like April or something. Now we're in the beginning of the season 2 mid-season return. Before we dive into all that stuff, how was everyone's summer?
So good. Did a lot of travel. Went and saw family, friends. I'm gonna see Mare next week.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And other than that, just enjoying the time off, but as an actor, trying not to have anxiety about not working.
Yeah, I hate it.
No matter how successful you are, I think you always have anxiety about not working.
I've been smoking a lot.
Is that black tar, heroin, and tobacco, Alice? Is that like a
It's her own special. It's her own special combo.
It's a blend.
It's a
What I
blend.
do is I get the leaf clippings.
The resin.
It's so crazy actually to turn these off. This is still collecting some of my smoker's voice. Yeah, like any time off as an actor is like so riddled with anxiety that like, what's the point? You're just like the moment. Like my boyfriend is on tour right now. Garrett Lang, everybody probably here knows. And he's on tour, and I was like so excited for him to get out of here, obviously, so I could like starfish in the bed. And he left, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna die alone immediately. I'm so I am irrelevant and I am a fraud. It was just like instant. The second the door goes clunk.
Yeah. You're like, it's all over. I can't feel.
You're like, bye. He shuts the door. You just scream, crying the second the door closes.
Like, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Yeah, immediately.
Well, I dealt with my existential crisis by taking a little plane ride over to the UK and bebopping around. I saw some great theater. I'd never been to London, so I went and walked the streets of London. I walked like 70 miles, over 70 miles in a week, saw everything that I could see on my feet. It was really, really cool. Went to Scotland, saw some puffins live.
Ooh.
I feel like maybe Liz, I feel like you're the only person who would maybe have seen puffins. Do they have puffins in the West?
I think of them as something like further north, but
Yeah.
I'd have to ask Tim because like I'll forget stuff. And he'll be like,
Okay.
don't you remember that time we like raised a puffin family? And I'll be like, no, I don't.
How could you forget our puffin family?
Well, they're really, really cute. And I took a lot of pictures of them that will live on my phone and die on my phone, but it was a good trip.
I
Oh,
feel like you
hell
need
yeah.
to mention just the very, very end. Just the
Hmm?
very, very. Can you mention the very end? You know, on the bench.
Oh my God. Okay, very quickly. So the last night we were in England, I was like, we have to stay in Notting Hill because I don't care. Notting Hill is a perfect film, and Julia Roberts is an absolute delight in everything she does. And I love
Mhm.
Notting Hill. And so I was like, I want to stay in Notting Hill. Actually, Alice and I got into a weird, like, 90s Nora Ephron movie watching phase at the end of last season.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got this place in Notting Hill, and then I had a last minute call back for a project, and I was like, no, Danny, you have to get me off book for this because I have to do this thing. And I'm like, oh God, how are we going to get it done? And how are we going to Zoom? And where am I going to Zoom?
Oh.
And then he like looks at me and he goes, we're doing the movie Notting Hill. Notting Hill. And I was like, oh my God, this is as close to Julia Roberts as I'm ever going to get. And then we sat on a bench. Like they do at the end of Notting Hill. And it was really cute.
Aw.
That's it.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Kudos to Danny for having that much of a being that well versed in
Notting Hill.
the Nora Ephron 90s, like, you know what I mean, rom-com.
Mhm.
I want to say it's a vernacular, and I think Danny speaks it, and I think that's really important.
He does.
Out
How's
of
your
all,
summer, Liz?
yeah.
What?
How's
Oh,
your summer?
I spent, quite honestly, can anyone see me? I
Yes.
spent a lot of it being very nervous about, I'm such a loser. Like Meredith's like, I went all over the UK and I'm like, I was nervous about getting on a plane. That's what I did this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was nervous about heading down to San Diego because some of us went and did Comic-Con there. But no, it's been beautiful here. We are in our, I think, third heat wave. So it's about 90 degrees here, which is a heat wave for here because we don't have air conditioning around here much in Vancouver. But no, I'm happy. Just had a little getaway, as we were talking about earlier, with my guy. And then we're going to go away soon again and just try and enjoy the heck out of the summer.
Nice.
And P.S. I have to give kudos to Liz because like having COVID anxiety is one thing, but going to Comic-Con with COVID anxiety, because you're like, imagine having any anxiety at all and everyone's dressed like a demon from another planet.
Everyone's dressed like a demon and they may actually kill you.
Yeah, it's really
yeah.
crazy. So I was really proud of Lizzie there.
Oh, thanks, sweetheart. No, we were all amazed that we did not get COVID because there were a lot of people there.
Yeah, it was really weird.
I'm surprised none of you picked up COVID for like the biggest Comic-Con in the world.
Well, it wasn't the
people had to wear masks.
It wasn't San Diego's biggest Comic-Con ever. You know, it was still a little bit scaled back, but yeah, I think that because of the fact that every person who was like there to do whatever our level of press was, not that big of a deal, but you know, big deal, was like had to be tested and do the whole rigmarole. We were only really around those people pretty much. So I think that helped us, but it was, I was like, how did we escape? So
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, there's our COVID story.
There's the answer. What?
I said, anyway, that was summer.
Yeah.
I know. It's like we're all hanging out and you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
you
that's
have the vibe of a waiter who's really trying to take our order because he doesn't want to be stuck at this table anymore. And we're like, oh my God, totally. And that's and you're like, okay, the waters.
So the specials are cool. I'll just keep standing here. I mean, ironically enough, I'm no longer a waiter.
Yeah.
So left that for the stability of the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, super stable.
Oh, love it. No anxiety whatsoever.
Last time we talked, you were like debating. So very happy for you.
I took the leap and now, booking a lot of stuff here coming into the fall, late summer, that kind of thing. So that's going to be great. But this was at the top of my list for things to do. And Alice, I went into it going, okay, there's 4 of them. There's one of you. Have a couple questions here and there, but just sit back and, just see what happens. I don't know. If Alice is, like plugged into a microphone, you are now co-host of the podcast.
Welcome back to Pretend World's Real People. Yeah, I'm expecting you to get up at some point and just walk in, come back with a coffee 20 minutes later. Like, so anyway.
Like, oh, did Liz leave? Okay, yeah, I guess I missed that.
She's gone.
Well, I'm glad everybody had a kick-ass summer. You all went traveling. Even if you had anxiety, you did some stuff to kind of get yourself out of the house. Go, do something different. Go see someplace different. Mimic accents. Meredith, wink. Which, by the way, really quick, what was your favorite accent you mimicked?
Do it.
Well, all right. So there's so many Scottish dialects and they're like really intense. Some of them are really hard. And when they talk really fast, it's like hard to catch them. And then depending on where in Scotland you are, there's more of a brogue or less of a brogue. Anyway, I mean, the Scottish are really fun to mimic because it's like, you're just like, what?
I can never get this, like the applause thing happening at the right time, but this is what I meant to do.
Didn't hear it.
Right?
No.
No
one can hear anything.
Is that like a jazz applause? Like fingers rubbing together?
Yeah. The Emperor's new applause.
Silent applause is
a
new thing.
Why? I'm going to be working on this for a while, guys. So just check back. Fuck. Loop back.
Well, I will say I watched the season premiere last week when it came up. As always, you guys know I'm a huge fan of the show, huge fan of all of you, but I don't think my girlfriend and I have laughed that hard all summer than the one episode of the show. Like without any spoilers for what's coming up in, the rest of season 2. Can you guys think back on a memory without, like dialogue or script beats where you just could not stop laughing? Because I'm sure you guys are constantly laughing every single day.
Oh, I can think of something. When we were all at a certain location around water and Judy was in the water and she kept saying, what was it? Like, it stinks. But she kept laughing every time she would say it. She was trying to say it different ways. She would say, it stinks. And then she would crack herself up. And then she'd be like, it stinks. And she could not stop laughing. And then we all started laughing to the point where when she would say the line, we were off camera trying really hard not to ruin her take. So, yeah.
I'm so sad I didn't get to be there on that day.
I know.
That looked like a hilarious scene. And then Jen on Twitter, I think, apologized to the director and was like, I am so sorry.
That was one of those in the script. When you read it, you're like, okay, like that's gonna be amazing, when we got it on the day. But yeah, that I wasn't there, so
I still have a
can
fond
neither confirm nor deny that it was funny.
I have a fond memory of the pilot, the very first day that I worked one-on-one with Alan, and he's like doing all this improv with body parts, like intestines, brain. It was just ongoing. And it was my first time doing one-on-one. We had done a scene with the sheriff and Deputy Liv when the body's like in the cold. And we had done the scene with Alice while we were dancing in the bar, but this was my first time, just me and him.
Yeah.
And it was so hard to get through it, because he just kept doing the weirdest shit with the intestines and the brain, pulling out. At one point, he almost went to eat the intestines, I think, like sausage. Like it was hilarious. And I thought, oh God, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, the hardest thing I think too is when you have a line that is like somebody's ad-libbing and you don't know they're going to ad-lib and you're waiting for them to deliver their line. So Mare got me because I was doing there's a scene that was in the previous front part of season 2. And there's like, was that the Halloween? Okay.
Halloween?
I can say Halloween. Don't worry.
Halloween?
I can say Halloween. Anyway, you said the thing to the little bee about the Blind Melon video, and I didn't know you were gonna do a joke. I'm standing waiting to walk up because there's these like adorable little like children who are waiting to go to the door. Kate opens the door and says like, oh, you guys look so cute, and she's saying something, and then she was gonna say something like an ad lib, I guess. I didn't know this was coming, and she's like, oh yeah, the blind melon video, forget it. Like it was just so like I wasn't expecting, and the stupid little kids are just like, it was amazing.
They didn't get it. It was over they didn't get it, and I was.
And you were so ready for them to not get it that you were just like.
The disappointment was real. My funny memory is actually of you, Alice, which is I cannot tell you the context actually of this memory, but I will say, because it's I will say this is there is a scene where a bunch of people are around, and during someone else's coverage, Alice was like, said just unexpectedly was like ad-libbed and was like, I have a question. And then said, how do you do it? In this way that was like,
told this story in another interview, and like that doesn't make it in. And I didn't realize until you told me about it later that it wasn't my coverage. Like in my memory, it's all on me, and it wasn't.
That's what got me is I laughed when you did it and you broke me. And then I laughed even harder when I realized that you had done this funny, crazy, like face. How do you do it? When it wasn't even your coverage. Like it wasn't even going to be used. You just did it to tickle us, which made me laugh even harder.
That's true.
Yeah, the scenes we laugh the most, I think, are when the most amount of us are together in a room, when you get everybody, because the energy just goes like, we get really giddy when we get to all be together, especially with COVID, when we're not doing stuff, we're not hanging out, we're not doing like press junkets together. So like when we get to be all in a scene together and we get to like play off each other's energy and everyone's together, did I say together? We're together.
Yeah.
Okay. Not separate. Okay. I think you're not understanding. We're together.
Not getting it.
Sorry, Alice, can you clarify that one more time?
No, listen. Okay, everybody just turn off your mics.
Alice, is that a sewing machine?
Listen, this guy right here and I.
Oh, baby.
We put them together. You need something sewn?
Sure. Yeah, I'll call you.
Okay, send me them pants. I can hem them.
I'll send you my pants.
Then-
UPS.
This is where I hem Garrett's pants because he's not real tall.
He's not real tall, and he's got to get out on the road, right?
It's true.
Go ahead, Sarah.
I texted Elizabeth after last week's episode, and I had an epiphany that we are both dealing with idiots. Now, I love you, Sheriff Mike, and I love you, Harry. But after that fucking run-on monologue about a frozen gun and a bullet that would melt it, I was like, oh my God. Elizabeth and I are the same person right now. We are dealing. I told her, I was like, I really want to see us have a conversation in the future about like, can you believe he did this? No, wait, he did this. Like,
It's true.
I feel like you constantly are dealing with the ultimate improver, Liz, even more than Alan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah, no.
All of it. Yes. No. It's always like full on. Oh God, he's so funny. Corey is so funny. Anyway, Corey just gets going in scenes, and he usually has monologues anyway, but he will like have come up with like his own sort of like sub monologue attached to the monologue. And I'm just sitting there like not knowing what he's about to say and killing myself laughing. But yes, back to Sarah's point, our characters are dealing with two big children, basically. Yeah.
Which is kind of a trope in comedies. It's always like the woman is like, oh, here he goes again. And then the guy gets to be like, go, 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 And I think our show it's really fun to be on our show as women because like it more often than not, we get to break through that, and like, I think especially with season 2 for Sarah, it's like, yeah, the writers Chris realized like, okay, we can't write this person into having a one-sided constant personality thing where they just only have to straight man this clown. So we're like growing gradually out of that, I think, and it's getting nicer. I think the scene with like when you and Corey pretended to be married and you like one-upped him at the end, we're starting to like bust that open.
Oh, that's such
Yeah.
a good scene.
That was
I love
fun.
that
Was that in
scene.
201, 202?
Yeah, that's top of the.
I don't know when anything was.
think that's true.
As a viewer of the show, I think that was
Yeah.
in 201.
Thank
Oh,
you.
all right, Tyler.
And I'll have can we have some more bread?
Oh yeah.
It's that
Can we
way
have
with
some more
I'm
bread?
sorry. Did you have a gluten intolerance? I can't quite remember which one of you.
Yes,
Um,
it's me.
Meredith.
Me. I
yeah.
did tell you
Oh.
that at the top. I did tell you that when I ordered. I did mention
Oh
that.
God,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
And-
Let me go
and
back to the
you-
And could she
You
have one
remembered not
toasted
to
nut?
put garlic in Sarah's food, right? No
No
garlic.
garlic in
in
Sarah's food.
Garlic.
You
what
have
about
to put
the,
garlic in my food though. If
uh,
you don't,
Bad if I get
It's
garlic.
mandatory.
extra
You can't eat-
garlic?
Can't eat anything without
Yeah.
garlic, so you have
And-
to put it.
And
It's
Miss
right
in the polka dot shirt, you said paprika, extra paprika, no paprika.
Me? Because there's two of us in
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness!
there's two
sorry, it's my
with
second night.
polkas.
Uh,
So-
Can I have hot water with lemon and honey?
absolutely
For free?
Yeah.
And I think we'll take a different waiter for the table.
I'm getting
That's
I
my
get
favorite
five
bit to
lemon
do when you go to a
flashbacks?
restaurant.
Oh my God,
Can
I
I
know I'm
get
sweating.
five lemons squeezed carcass out, please? Thank you.
5 lemons.
I would
Carcass
like
out.
an
My favorite bit
inverted
to do is
burger.
like, yeah, I think we'll take a different waiter for the table.
Oh God. that's nice.
That is when
Mara-
you walk away from your job.
Mara, I was gonna ask you, do you feel that way with Levi too? Because I feel like he seems to have absurd moments on the show where you're constantly straight manning.
Oh, for sure. There's moments of like the after the play when he's like, yeah, like he just doesn't get it. And he's like, yeah, no, we'll do it again next year with just more, we'll do more. And there's that moment where I just, the take they picked was one version where I'm just like, I'm short circuiting, trying to figure out why he doesn't understand this. And eventually just give up. And I'm like, okay, all right, great. That's where we're at today. So yeah, I think it's similar vibe.
And Liz, I know we only have we literally have 2 minutes left with you. So
Yeah.
I want to ask you really quick, what are you most excited about for this next season or next season, the final part of season 2 of Resident Alien?
I am so excited because and not to sound like, but people are like, you guys, this is the craziest season ever. But there is so much. It is so jam packed, and there are so many cool things that happen with so many of the characters. I can't wait to see it myself, and I can't wait for everyone else to see it. I know that might sound vague, but like there's a lot going on, Tyler, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you're saying I should be like really excited,
Yes.
for it.
You should be super excited.
I mean, that's already happening. And I while we
She's
have
not
you
wrong.
on the mic, before you go, before we do your awkward goodbye, you have to answer this one question that I will ask everybody eventually, but came up in the chat. What is your favorite pizza? Since Harry loves pizza, what is your go-to pizza?
This is really embarrassing. So I'm sorry, everyone.
Pizza.
I don't know what has been my issue in the last couple of years, but my favorite pizza is just pizza with green peppers.
Oh,
Great.
that's
Respect.
nice.
That's
Hey,
not
babe.
weird at all.
Simple.
I know. It's so boring though. I know.
No,
Excuse
green
me.
peppers go well with pizza.
Loyal,
Yeah.
Okay.
loyal peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Peppers.
okay.
You're
Yeah,
gonna you're gonna sign off, and we're gonna be like, Jesus.
Jesus.
You hear
you
that?
should be embarrassed.
Green peppers. Fuck.
Green peppers. What the hell? What's happening?
Oh my god.
Oh, Liz, we miss you already.
I
I know.
know. I'm sorry.
She only
I'm
had a
sorry.
half hour because she's super busy.
Stay.
I know. I have a table read, and they pulled the time by half an hour. So I thought I was going to be able to do everything, and I can't.
Oh.
So I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
But it was nice to see you all.
Read that
Yes.
table.
Bill.
I'm glad
Shortly
you
but
came
Bye bye,
back.
Hicka.
Do you have time for an awkward goodbye?
Awkward goodbye.
Yeah.
Sure. I can't.
Do you want me to count you down?
Sorry. No. What's that? That's not Tyler. Who have I? I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Goodbye.
Yes. Yes.
Did you hear the laughter?
No, it's
You
silent.
can't hear that? The fuck is going? Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is.
Fix it and then give me my clapping retroactively, please.
Dude,
Yes.
I know, honestly. Because I want. Okay.
Just that one hair on the ear,
Yeah,
babe.
that's what it is.
This would be a great SNL bit as a DJ that isn't like not projecting their sounds to the crowd, but can hear it in their headphones.
Yeah. It was really like, any requests? We want to hear literally anything. All
Tyler,
right.
thanks for having us do this, because not that we don't love the boys, but whenever we do group settings, it's always with them, and it's like, ugh, like love that we can just be with the girls.
And all the questions
yeah.
are like, Alan, what's it like to be the best?
What's
I can
on your
fill in for Alan if you want. It's not going to be.
Alan, do you
nearly as
like
great.
pizza? Call me.
what kind of underwear are you in? What's the texture? Was it
Alan,
soft? Do you like soft?
do you believe in aliens? My numbers. Tell me your number.
That's you know what?
Alan, what do you think? Alan, what do you think like my rising sign is? Like if you had to guess.
This next one's for Alan. Do you do you like titty? No one does that. It's never happened.
No one's
Not
done that. I call
maybe
bullshit.
somebody has.
There was some truth to that.
Marissa
Maybe
would
somebody
know.
has one day,
Marissa
one time.
Probably his wife would probably have stories, I'm sure. Of like,
Mhm.
Oh, that's so tight. Actually, I love that. I love that for us.
Well, I love having you guys on the show because, like, even before the ladies' night episode came about, it was just so much fun seeing that. I mean, quote unquote, supporting characters of a show, because they always advertise it for that lead character. But I feel like you guys give so much more to the show that it wouldn't be nearly as like heartfelt and humorous if it was just Alan and maybe like one or two other people. Like, you are full-fledged characters and you bring so much to it. So when I initially reached out, it was like I want to just sit down, hear your story, talk to you. But now that I'm getting you all together, I'm regretting every single facet of that decision, because it's just constant interruptions, especially from Alice and her sound effects. It's the worst.
I actually, 1 second. I could
Still
just
can't hear him.
go in here. No, I was just playing into your bit. I still can't get it to fucking work.
Well, the question needs to be passed over to you, to the rest of you. What is your favorite pizza?
Favorite pizza.
Your favorite pizza? But you
Well,
can't pick the one with green
Yeah, this one's
peppers.
tough.
I'll just get this right out of the way,
Here we go.
which is look, much to the sadness and dismay of me and everyone around me, I haven't had pizza unless I've made it, which doesn't qualify for pizza because
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Come
Fine,
on.
fine,
People want to know.
fine.
People want to know it's possible.
my favorite pizza is an almond flour crust pizza that I make myself, and I use freaking like baking soda and apple cider vinegar as the leavening agent. And then I top that shit with some nutritional yeast and some fresh basil. And I put some tomatoes on there. And like, it's like a full, like green pepper, mushrooms, onions,
Green
the
pepper.
full McGillicuddy, a shit ton of marinara sauce. And
McGillicuddy.
it's always soggy in the middle. And I love it.
Ah,
Always
yes.
soggy in the middle.
Yes.
Oh man, great job.
The shit works, you know? I mean, like it's
I don't
Alan
know.
and Meredith have like similar levels of food
Yeah, that's true.
specialty. And I like Meredith about it because you always make it a bit and fun for everybody else. Like you always make a little one act play about how
Horrible I am.
it becomes this little tiny like moment from like, I don't know. I don't want to say Woody Allen movie, but
When I greet waiters, I'm always like, since we're talking about waiters a lot, I'm always like, they're like, so what can we get you? And I'm like, hey, hi, it's me. I'll just go ahead and start because I'm the nightmare. I'm the bad one. I'm the nasty one. I can't eat anything. All the fun stuff on your menu, I can't have it. I'm so sorry. You're gonna hate it.
it's about getting in front of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
And making fun of yourself.
Yeah.
Meredith, does this look familiar when you're greeting the waiter?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're so nice. And they're like, and she's like, oh, and by the way, I'd like a thing of your spit on the side. And if you don't want to put it on the side, don't tell me about it. I don't care.
If it's in it, great.
That pizza sounds awesome though. Like I will try to make it. It's probably not going to come out well, but
It never does. It never does.
What about Alice and Sarah? What's your favorite pizza?
I'm the one who puts pineapples on it. This is a big debate. People are really upset out there about people who put pineapples on their pizza, but I'm the one.
I gotta go.
Pineapples, mushroom, spinach, every time. And I need a side of ranch. That is the Midwest girl in me. Need to dip my crust in ranch. And let me tell you something, Vancouver does not have ranch. Every time I ask, like, would you like garlic Parmesan sauce? And I'm like, that is not what I asked. Thank you so
We could
much.
put some thyme in some milk, hey?
Literally, Jenna, who plays Judy, bought me ranch mix I can make myself in Vancouver because
We
she
could put some Old Bay spice and some half and half, hey?
okay.
Hmm.
I need
You know
it.
what? No.
Oh man.
You know, I've got a jar of mayonnaise. You can have that.
You can have that. Oh no, it's past the date. Hey. So I like deep. There's this place called Doughbox in LA, except I shouldn't tell anyone about it because it's like one of those places where it's deep dish pizza and they put the cheese on the bottom next to the dough and then they put the sauce on top.
What?
And it's like, I don't know. And they're always closing for good. Like every 2 months, they'll be like, we're packing it in. And then they keep reopening. And it's so good. And I got addicted to it when it kind of in my neighborhood that I live in now. My boyfriend used to live in Alhambra. And I remember when I first started dating him, I was like, where do you live? And he's like, Alhambra. And I'm like, see you never. Obviously not going to wherever the fuck that is. Sounds like it's like the Scheherazade or whatever, but it's actually not that far. Anyway, it's in Alhambra. And I associate it with the beginning of my relationship with my sweet one true love, and it's very delicious pizza.
Garrett. Wherever you are, we're thinking of you.
He left me.
Be back in hate.
Normal pizza.
Okay. We got the pizza question.
We got through
Got the
it.
pizza question down.
A real
Sorry,
gotcha.
I've never had comments before in a live stream. So I'm like,
I want to see them.
Yes.
Okay,
hi.
what are they?
If you-
What are they saying?
What do they say? We love
Wait,
you.
can they see us?
Watching.
Yeah.
Oh
They
yeah,
definitely see
this
us.
is live.
Someone's looking through my room details.
They
I
can-
know it, 'cause
they
I
can
couldn't get my
see.
backdrop up.
I've
so.
said the F word twice and you can't edit it now.
I didn't know that anybody could see us. Great.
It sucks because like Biscuit is right here, but you can't. Here he is.
Get Biscuit.
There he
Real
is.
skit.
Yeah.
David,
something to sleep on.
David,
And a pair of shorts.
what are the questions? Tell us more.
Okay, so Julian. Well, okay, Julian is from France.
Ooh.
And
Oh,
they, 'cause I don't
wow.
know the pronouns, they asked the pizza question. And then Wendy is
you.
asking, are we going to have another Women's Night episode?
Ooh,
No, because we get Jenna has to hire extra security when she writes one of those.
my guess is we will have one in season 3, which we've been picked up for. Let's give a nice shout out to season 3. I definitely think we will have one again, but we don't have one for the next set of the final season 2 episode.
This does
Yeah.
seem a little more like there's some heavy emotions in this part of the season, you know, where it doesn't feel like it would fit right now.
There
Yeah.
is an adventure where
Yeah.
there is an adventure
There is an
where
adventure.
there's many ladies present.
That's right,
Ooh.
babe. Way to remember. I
A
already
really
forgot.
good. Yeah.
A great
Strong,
episode.
it's sort of like a reprise,
Yeah, it's true.
I
Okay.
might say.
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
It's a
Okay,
fun one.
well, Wendy,
Okay.
that was an amazing question because we got a little toss
There
you
go.
go.
season
There you
2.
go.
Thank you for
When are
that
you guys shooting season 3? you know yet?
Yes, mid-January-ish to mid-June-ish is what we were told so far, but
Okay.
that always can change because
Yeah.
we still have like 6 months to go and things always change. So we'll see.
Well, and how are we handling? I mean, you were talking about anxiety, you know, as an arts worker, not having work in between these times. So how are we handling the anxiety of not working during the next 6 months or so?
I don't know. I work constantly, so
You actually, you're doing stand-up every other night on your.
Amen.
I do stand up, but it's I hadn't been booked on the road, like I hadn't been touring, and I love to go outside of the LA area to try my hand at being funny to normal people, and I've had no dates, and COVID was really a big issue. Like it reset everything, and then right when COVID ended, all the like the sex predators all got booked on all the club circuits, and then they have to
Right.
monetize after they're done. So I haven't been booked on it. And then I was like complaining to my agent, and then he was like, do you want to do an hour at Flappers in 3 weeks? And I was like, no, I don't have an hour. I'm a fraud. So it's like, why aren't you booking me? Just get me in a room, get me in front of somebody. Do you want to do an hour at Flappers? Why don't you kill me then? Just murder me.
No, I do not.
So,
I don't know.
hour.
I was just texting Mary the other day. I was having an emotional morning, and Alice said it, like, I think it's easy to have imposter syndrome. You have success, and I think when we got season 3, it feels like we booked work without doing anything. I mean, we did a lot in those first 2 seasons to help us book that season 3. So it is a booking, and so it's a celebration. But I know that I've even talked with Alan about this too. Like, it happens for all actors, no matter how successful you are. You just get to a point where you're like, what if I get pigeonholed? What if this is all I'm ever going to do? What if they won't see me for who I am and won't see all these other gifts I may have? What if? And you just kind of get lost a little bit, I think, when you're sitting alone in the darkness, watching Stranger Things and, and thinking, this is strange, my life as a human.
right.
But it doesn't really matter the length of time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like for me, like, you know, it can be, frankly, it could be like 6 days. And I think a lot of actors, I was just talking to a friend of mine about this. A lot of actors feel this way, which is that I think, I think the phenomenon of like working in order to be able to stop working which I think some people encounter in their professions. Not everyone. And I also would not presume that this is just a thing that actors experience, but I do think a lot of people I've talked to say like, yeah, I'm working, then I'll retire at this age and I'll stop working and then I'll get to like have my leisure time. I'll get to have my life. And I think for a lot of actors, I think we come alive in what we do. We come alive. We feel most full. We're the most in touch with our bodies, sometimes with ourselves. We feel directional. And that I think it is so playful and joyful if you're lucky and you're around great people and you're making great art, that sometimes, it's 6 days for me. And I'm like, oh, like I want to feel that dimension of myself. I want to feel that I want to be inside of my body in that way. That's about more than just my own neurotic, mental experience or whatever. I want to put that aside in the service of like doing something brave in front of people, because it's so good for me as an organism. So I get hungry, I get hungry quick. I get hungry real quick.
That almond flour really doesn't do the trick.
It doesn't. That soggy almond flour pizza does not fill the void. But I keep trying.
It's also like the other job that we have is to go get rejected. It's the percentage of time we spend in our like professional lives putting a tiny piece of our soul in front of people for it not to be stomped on, but just neglected.
Which is worse.
It'd be one thing if they were like, you're bad, but they literally just go like, huh, okay. And it's like, we're not even worth responding to. And that's most of our jobs. It's like actually insane. Like it's like, we must be a little bit stupid and crazy to be doing this. But then the highs are so high, like when we get to go to work with each other. And like Mara said, it's like, I feel so alive. And also I get to be with these people that like roll out the red carpet for me, like I feel so supported with the cast of Resident Alien. Like people are like, you guys are my team. You got my back in this way that is just like, doesn't happen that often, especially the women in this crew.
And I think that definitely shows.
Yeah, we do. You guys are like, totally.
No, I was agreeing. I was just thinking about when we got home in April, that month was really rough because it was like this fear of scarcity, like, we have a whole, as an actor, it's sort of amazing. You don't ever get to know that you have so much time off before you work again. And because we didn't know when or if season 3 would happen, we were sort of like, hey, it was great working with you guys. Like, hope to see you soon. And then we know that if we do get a season 3, it's not going to be for at least a year. And so there was this blessing in some ways where it was like, wow, I can see that for a full year, I have this opening to work on other things or do other things creatively or just travel or whatever. But I just remember like my first session with my therapist, like just sort of like, overwhelmed at the anxiety that was like surfacing after not working for, because you're working straight for 8 months, not really having that much time to think about anything else. And so she was like, is playing Asta giving you time off from being Sarah? And I was like,
oh, yeah.
I didn't know
you. How fucking dare you?
I was like, I didn't know I needed time off from being Sarah. Do I need time off from being Sarah? What does that mean? Like, and then it was because being Sarah is just being a human who has like taxes and health insurance, like needs to clean her room and needs to like fucking see her dad and like whatever, and just like go and do the things that you need to do because COVID shut us down and quarantine happened. And now we finally have this year off.
Oh, man.
And without it sounding like, we're sitting here complaining about this beautiful, wonderful life we have. It's just true about still having anxiety when you have success. And I think personally, I'd say, I think I have more anxiety now that I have success than I did when I was just waiting tables. I was like, when am I ever going to not have to wait tables? But like, that was my biggest concern. And now I have all these other, like I said, sort of imposter syndrome. Do I belong here? Will this last? do people see me for who I am or whatever? And I'm sure that that's true for other people. Like Meredith said, it's probably not just for actors. It's just, we can only speak from our own experience about it.
Indeed.
Yeah, I feel seen. Not to that level, but I feel seen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you said, it's not just people who work in the arts industry. It's anybody who is literally being a human and trying to split, not necessarily personalities, but facades of themselves to make their way through life. You know, where bringing it back to waiters, you know, you're not necessarily 100% yourself when you're serving somebody, right? You're putting on a show in a way.
There's like a voice change that happens.
It goes up.
It goes up.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome. And you're like, what is happening? What is happening to my voice? I'll be right on that. Right on that, Rose.
So what helps all of you decompress from moments like that? You know, I'm not in a show on sci-fi or doing anything like that, but I still have to have those methods of letting go of like an audition that maybe went really well, but I sunk myself into such a place that I need to snap myself right out of that. Like, what is something you like to do that helps you relax and unwind, that doesn't involve almond flour, because it'll just irritate you all the more so?
I craft a lot.
She's a maker.
I like to get my hands in some yarn. I just do I like visual stuff. So I do that a lot. And I watch like a lot of British cop shows because I like when a body goes missing in Wales. And like there's always an uncle who's got some mental problems in Wales for some reason. There's always,
which helps you see that like mental problems aren't that bad, you know, it's a perspective.
Yeah, but like, why always an uncle?
Wait,
he's a red herring, you know what I mean?
You have to do the bit. You have to do the piece of dialogue.
I can't barely remember it, but it's like, he's just a lad. Is that it? I don't know. I remember what it is. But
leave him alone.
Leave him alone. He's just a lad. He doesn't remember. He don't remember, do he?
It's Scottish now.
He's Scottish. Look,
get out. Get off our land.
I'm a decent guy from Scotland and I'm working in Wales. You think I do feel like a fish out the water? What the fuck is going on in this town in Wales? Anyway, I watch a lot of that shit.
I definitely meditate as much as I can. I love tarot. I'm into that. And when I give myself the time to unwind the most, it's like a good workout. It's really good for my mental health and being in nature. I think those are some of my, like going to the ocean. I'm very fortunate to be in LA and it's only 20 minutes away. So that helps a lot.
What about you, Miss Meredith?
Well, yes, I like to run like the sad rat that I am. And anything that engages my body from the neck down, like anything physical that makes me sweat and takes me out of this is aces number one. I also have been recently, like you were saying, like, you know, you have an audition and you have to like let it go or whatever. I've recently been having this thought come over and over that at one point I thought was really sacrilegious, but now I think is kind of the answer, and maybe not the answer, but an answer, which is this doesn't mean anything. And it doesn't mean that it's not wonderful. It doesn't mean that it's not, that it couldn't heal the planet, that you can't make art that heals the planet. It doesn't mean that what you're doing doesn't matter. It just means that the impact of one audition or one choice or whatever, that it means in as far as what you are doing on the planet and what you're doing with your day and what you're feeling, it doesn't mean anything about you. It has nothing to do with you. And that's sort of like reframing, not saying like, I don't care about this, because I do care. I care 100% while I'm there. But then when it's done, it's like, this doesn't mean anything. Now I have to be in the room that I'm in with the people that I'm in and be awake and alive and take in life, because otherwise you are a specter. You're not a full person. You're a person waiting on someone to give you permission to live, and that's not okay. It's not.
It's like being a conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat person to believe that your self-worth comes from your job and the jobs that you do get or the jobs that you don't get, especially as an actor, because it's like there's so much going on in the pachinko machine beyond your control, beyond you, beyond even the people that are casting something, that it has so little to do with you literally. And what has to do with you is right in front of you, right? Like the present moment that you're in, the people that you're with. And so you're looking to this other source to be like, this, I need information about myself. Am I worthwhile? What is my path in life? Am I going to die tomorrow? And you're asking the wrong thing. You're thinking that there's this whole conspiracy going on about you. And you're like, and meanwhile, you're like, you know, your cat's like, fucking feed me, bitch. You know, like,
right exactly.
There.
Your dog is rolling around on the bed being precious, and I have the world's most precious dog. And so does Sara Tomko. But you know, I'm partial to my little boy. But like there he is rolling around on the bed in his perfect body filled with love. And I'm like, what could I possibly want more? You know what I mean? I have so much abundance. How could I possibly be, you know, turn my eyes away from all of this light in front of me? It helps take a little of the edge off. It does, to just reground in your life.
I wonder if there's something in the air, Mara, because recently I had that sort of epiphany while I was traveling this month, being with family and friends that I haven't been able to spend quality time with in a long time because of COVID. And I remember having that thought, like, if this is it for my career, like, who cares? Like, I've got this great family. I've got these friends. Like, I'm my life is full. I feel I'm in my present body. I'm taking in the world around me as it is today. And I am, whether I'm happy or sad, I'm alive. And I also just had that sort of epiphany recently, like, not that I don't care, I do care, but in the long, grand scheme of things, I just want to be fulfilled, whatever that means for me in this moment. Mm-hmm. And also the reminder that, I've been really using lately as like a mantra, which is like, we're floating on a ball in the sky.
Yeah.
In a giant galaxy that is endless. If you recently saw that stuff that came out recently.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, when I remember how tiny I am in comparison to the world, it actually is comforting. I'm like, oh, thank you for relieving me of having to be big right now. I just want to be small and intact and be who I am.
Yeah. And when you have those moments, it's amazing because it lasts for
3 seconds.
I already cast the thing that I was on. Perfect. You're like, oh my God.
It's both,
Deadline
right?
alert. Fuck.
It's both. It's both.
Yeah.
It's both. You're allowed to want and whatever. It's just a reflection of wanting to share your art with the world, but also, you know.
Cast his daughter.
Of course. I'm so glad, Meredith, that you brought that up, because I mean, really quick, I felt the same thing this last summer when I had spoken to Sara about, you know, like the struggle with my day job and, you know, getting pinned for things, getting up to it, and then nothing, and, you know, just like constant rejection, to the point where, like, I foolishly, and actors don't ever do this, I sent my materials to the agency that casted Resident Saying like, hey, you know, heard season 3's coming up, just throwing my hat in the ring.
Oh, good.
You know, any interest? And then I like went to the lowest low that afternoon. Like, that was the most idiotic thing you've ever done. Why?
No.
So I'm sitting on the porch, and
you've done way worse.
It's on this show today.
See?
No.
Sorry. Keep going. You were saying something.
You see the blood? You see the blood? It's starting from the bullet wound. It's like it just missed the heart.
You're sitting on the porch.
I'm sitting on the porch, and my girlfriend says, "Hey, let's come coach me to rollerblade again," because she had hurt her knee and we couldn't rollerblade for a little bit. So I've been teaching her how to rollerblade, which is something I've loved doing since I was a kid. And that moment was us rollerblading around a parking lot, the sun's going down, and I fell in love with her again as she's kind of giraffing it across the asphalt. But it was the best that she's killing it too. But that was one of those moments where I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's so stupid. Why am I putting myself down for that? And then the Google alert for the telescope thing came up, and I was like, yeah, none of this really has any impotence on the rest of the world. So no, Meredith, like, thank you for bringing that up, because that was something that I a bit of a revelation about, a couple months ago. So
Also, good for
yeah.
you.
Yes, good for you. You got to ask for what you want. You did a good thing.
I'm just
Yeah,
putting it out there.
You're just
You
gotta,
never know.
yes.
First of all, that could get you in the door, right?
You never
And-
know, dude.
True.
But
True.
like you have
True.
to
But
be
seriously.
you have to be willing to fall flat on your face as an actor over and over again. That's what Alice was talking about, the rejection. It's like, why do we keep doing this? Like we keep literally walking in the room and making fools of ourselves. But that is truthful. It's honest. And good for you to send it in and see. You never know.
Yeah, just anything that gets me out of the adult film industry fluffing business. That's great
Sure.
because
I mean, but you're so good at it. So it's like,
You are the best. You are the best.
You
it's
were
the forearms, but the calluses ruin. Like if you have a brush with short bristles,
Like,
what good is the
yeah.
brush? Like it doesn't really work that way. But I'm gonna get off of that tangent.
Brett, you opened that fucking can of worms, dude.
I know.
Wide.
Oh my god.
you open the bottom and the top.
Yo.
Anyway, Goose Fraba. What else did
What was that?
did I have?
What'd you say?
That was amazing. What
Goose
did you-
Fraba.
Oh, you've never seen Anger Management with Adam Sandler when they're switching their emotional pivot or they're trying to change direction. They're like Goose Fraba.
No.
What does
No.
it mean?
Oh,
Pivot.
I don't know. It's something.
Yiddish, maybe. I don't know. Like
You
this-
should look it up. Watch Anger Management because it's hilarious. But it's just we bring it up in our daily vernacular as servers and bartenders. So, but it's just a way of like, next phase, Goose Fraba.
Love it.
But oh my god, it's 2:30 already. I just how much time does everybody have? Because I don't want to take up. I said an hour.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Maybe a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
yeah.
a few more.
Yeah. I just want to see what you have in store for the rest of the year before obviously you shoot season 3. Like, what are you excited about? Are you going back to Scotland, Mare? Alice, do you have tour dates in Denver? Like you said, you were possibly thinking.
Look, I don't control tour dates in Denver, unfortunately. It's up to the people. I told you to call Comedy Works and ask for me by name. This is it's on you.
Oh, I did.
On you. All right. I am starting a podcast. I have my old podcast is coming back. Treks in the City is coming back in a couple of weeks. We're recording on Friday. And I started a Patreon and I recorded my first episode. It's just me by myself. It's fucking terrifying to me because you're just unhinged when you're by yourself. You're like, is this funny? And then you just kind of go gradually more and more crazy. And I wanted to do something that was like the most in my head voice that I could possibly do. And it's kind of an experiment. So I started that. And I'm doing Flappers in 3 weeks in Burbank if anybody wants to come to see me do an hour.
Hell yeah.
When? Tell me when. I want to come.
Oh God, she wants to come. I want you to come to it as well. And it is, let me literally tell you right now so that I can promote to anyone who lives in
I'm writing it down.
Anyone who is watching this podcast
Not
in
me,
the LA area, if you don't come to her show at Flappers, I'm going to be really, really sad. So
why am I so reticent to all right, it looks like it's going to be a week. Is it a weekend or is it just a week? It's 9/23 it says here. So I think it's probably just the 23rd of September. Sarah, don't even
Wait,
fucking
September?
Yeah.
Not August.
Yeah.
September. Yeah, I can.
All right. September 23rd, everybody. Come on out to Flappers Burbank.
I got it.
Woo!
Bring your own food to Burbank, to be honest, but but the comedy's great. Actually, Flappers probably has the best food in Burbank.
They've got a Bob's Big Boy,
Yeah, they do have a Bob's Big Boy.
Oh.
And yet they even have Bob's Small Boy, but you can't see him because he's behind the big
He's
boy.
really, really
He's right behind the
small.
big boy. He's hiding.
He's hiding behind the big boy.
He's hiding 'cause he's
Mama,
afraid because of what happened last week.
mommy, hurry, mommy.
So hurry, mommies. Come on out to Burbank Flappers, mommies. You gotta hurry.
Hurry, mommy.
Coming up on my favorite time of year, which is the fall. I love the fall. I love the holidays. It starts with my birthday, then Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, and all the things. So I'm excited about that. If I'm not working on some other gig, I will be here in LA, just like loving on all the holiday time. So that's what I'll be doing until then. All of a sudden it's January and we're back in Vancouver.
Freezing to death.
Freezing.
Just discovering the uncle of the child who's got some mental problems. Well, he loves that lad.
That's what it's all Harry.
That's the problem.
He loves him.
He wouldn't hurt to hear.
He wouldn't hurt a hair on someone's head. Get out.
Buddy,
Leave now.
one of our
I'm
Scottish
going.
fans right now is really upset.
Well, go then.
Fans are
Go.
like, what
But
are
it's
they
raining.
doing?
I'm
Go
waiting
on
for the
then.
Scottish comments to light up.
The Scottish switchboard lights up with the sound of a bagpipe.
We're trying to.
All right, Meredith, what do you got planned?
Yeah, what do you got planned?
Yeah, what are you up to?
I am
Meredith?
Besides
thinking,
coming to my show.
let's see. Oh, my husband's entered the chat. Hi, babe.
Annie.
Hi, husband.
Annie's in the room. Here, come pop on.
Thought that
Come
way.
here.
Come on, say hi.
I've got, let's see. The end of August into September is going to be a me time. It's going to be a working on myself and getting in full form and come here in full form and alignment and look it.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Hello.
Live stream. They can see you on the
my
internet.
gosh.
Hi. I didn't know that either. And then I think it's going to be I suspect it's going to be me moving around doing a bunch of bingo bango crap in the fall and then maybe a holiday break and then we go back to work. So it's unclear what my fall is going to look like because, we work in the entertainment industry where they like to tell you what you're doing the day before you leave. So you wait and you sew and you eat your almond dough and you live your life and try not to go crazy.
Also, you have that cooking show, right? That's coming up where it's like
Right.
you cooking and then kind of like halfway through the recipe, you're like, you know what? Forget it.
Right. So September 24th at Flappers, I'm doing a hour-long cooking special. If you have to go to one or the other, if you don't want to go to Flappers, if you don't want to go to Burbank 2 days in a row, please come to Burbank on the 24th that's not true. I don't have a cooking show and I'm in New York right now. Please don't go to Alice's show on the 23rd. I'm sorry. That was a stupid joke. That could
You
really
never know.
derail your audience.
You never know what's going to happen on my show on the 23rd.
Yeah, like Alice
She says she's in New York, but maybe we're going to try to get her come here.
Yeah.
That's what she said she would do.
It's not on the
And give you a little-
calendar.
I can have you open for me. It's just a bowl of
Wow.
flax or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, it's just
You're
me
like-
crying.
And then you just want to put the water. Fuck, you know what? Fuck it.
Hey everybody, I'm opening for Alice. My joke is that I really want everyone to like me. I'm vegan.
But in
Honestly,
LA, they'd be like,
That
"What's
bit
the
has
joke?"
legs.
In LA, that's like what everybody wants. They're
Dog,
like,
that's LA comedy pretty much. You just did.
Well,
a-
I want to see
Suck.
you do it. Is what I want. That's what I want. I want to come to. I'm going to see Sarah in a week and a half's time. We're going to have time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll bebop to LA for a little bit. I would actually like to bebop to LA, so maybe I center it around that Flapper show
Take the
because
Bebop. You could take the Bebop Express.
I could
Yeah.
take the Bebop Express.
I would really
Do it.
like that a lot. Yeah, we're making plans.
Tyler, make it stop. We can't stop. We're in a cycle of.
I can't make this. Look at that. Look at this.
We can't stop.
This is
Oh,
not
the move.
for anybody at all.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
He's
Um,
like, I hate that. He's like, I hate that I did this. I hate that I did this.
No.
I hate that I did this.
I love every second. Meredith, that you didn't know this was a live stream?
No, I thought like it was a podcast. Like I thought it was like a podcast. Like we get back together and then we do like a podcast and we talk and you'll edit out the crazy and no one will see any of this shit.
Beautiful.
Can you edit out everything in my room? Yeah,
Frame
I know.
by frame.
It could be not a live stream and you're just pretending it is. And there's
you
like an
pretending?
animated thing next to you. And you're like, yeah, it's totally
Yeah.
live.
There are no comments. It's just
Yeah.
me and my other personalities.
Yeah.
Wendy wanted to know.
Yeah.
Any more questions from your live streaming?
Yeah. Oh, we got a final
Uh,
question, maybe?
Let's see. Ooh, that one. We're not going to ask that one. That's a little. No. Here's a good one. How difficult was it to work essentially on the Resident Alien set during the pandemic? That'll be the kind of wrap up production question I have on there.
Wasn't
If you can recall.
great.
Wait, no, but you no, because I said it would be for season 2, right? Because it was still kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We shut down March 13th, 2020, and then we weren't sure when we had 2 weeks left of shooting season
Season 1.
1. And then we got a call in July and we had to come back in August, which was like the height of the pandemic. So Mare and I have a picture. We have goggles on and masks. And I think we even wore gloves to the
We did.
airport.
We did.
The flight attendant, not even the flight attendant. The
I was
person-
also there.
the
So it was
person-
Corey.
No.
Yes, Corey was there too.
Yes, Corey. Well, I'm just saying at the top when Mare and I showed
Yeah.
up together, the person
Yeah.
who checked us in was like, "I'm gonna take a picture of you guys so you can see how ridiculous you look." And we
Yeah.
were like, "We're really scared and it's unsafe to fly and we don't know what's happening in the world."
They told us we can't get COVID or we'll ruin the show. We have to wear goggles.
I mean, that's the truth. We really had all of us had so much anxiety because you don't want to be the one. You don't want to show up and then give COVID to everybody. And then you have to be out for 2 weeks and then it stalls, whatever. Anyway, we had to go back. We had to quarantine for 2 weeks. But Alice and Levi made it real nice for us when we were all living in the same building called The Level in Vancouver. And they thought, while we're here, we're going to do a radio show that only we can hear so we can feel like we're all together on this. And they played incredible music. They would do it for an hour every day we were in quarantine. And it just made us feel like we were connected without being able to touch, even though Meredith and I were a balcony away. And meanwhile, we're sending each other like pickles. I'm giving her the garlic that I can't eat. She's sending me toothpaste. And I was like, why didn't we think of like a ladder?
No, I really wanted to violate all the COVID rules and just climb down the balcony, but I didn't.
We
Yeah.
followed the rules. And then Alice and Levi gave us the most amazing Level AM show that still continues every once in a while to this day.
Yeah, we try to do it on weekends. when
They'll
we're
do a
shooting.
radio show for us. And I don't know. So that's how we handled the first part. And then going back to season 2, protocol was just generally like strict and scary and nobody wanted to mess it up. And I think the hardest part was not being able to interact with the crew the same way because they were very much like, here comes the A team, and they would have to part the seas. And in some ways, I remember Alan and I being like, this feels regal and also very sad.
Yeah.
Feels like we're walking down a red carpet every time we go to work and no one can touch us because we're lepers or something.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd have to say about the experience. You guys, your turn.
Same. I mean, it just made things a lot more, it just made everything take longer that, it really threw a wrench into things. It's not an art form that works really well with like lots of isolation and separation. It's not the way that it's a community, it's art by committee, And so having to be always sequestered, it's just not, it just masks pretty much when we're on set. That's the only barrier between us, but it made it so that there was testing protocols and other things, like we couldn't have guests on set. Things like that. It was just really limited. Normally we get set visits from all sorts of people, and it just I'm not pro pandemic, I guess, end of the day. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
turns out I'm not pro pandemic. Turns out, kind of a
Sorry.
bummer. And some of the stuff that you have to do it because everyone's trying really hard to find a way to figure out how to keep everybody safe and keep the show moving.
Mm.
But also sometimes you're like, how is this everyone's isolating and wearing masks and whatever. And then we all take our masks off and lick each other's face. And we're like,
Yeah.
because that's the scene, So a little bit there were times where it's just like, I know everyone is doing everything they can to keep us safe. And I know what we're doing is helping us all stay safe. And then also there are these moments where then we just all by nature of what we do, we can't do what we do with a mask on. And so there's this there's this constant give and take of like,
Yeah.
hey, we keep you as safe as we can until you got to take the mask off.
Yeah.
And,
You have to do so much to minimize the harm of the face licking.
There was one scene where Alan and I don't know how this worked out, but he had to drink from my coffee cup. And it's not like we switched cups or stopped. Like he was drinking from when I would take a sip. And I'm like, this surely cannot be part of protocol, but we've all been tested. It's what we have to do that day. And, fortunately,
that's why you test.
We were able to make it through both the end of season 1 and season 2 unscathed. I don't believe nobody
got it. Yeah.
affected in a way that like caused us to, stop production. We were able to really continue on. And that was, so we were grateful to have such protocols in place to keep it safe and smooth, but it definitely slowed things down for sure.
Yeah.
But I still licked everyone's face in every take.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't use any of that footage, because I felt that it was very grounded in character, and they didn't use one face lick. And I was like, you know what? Fine. Creative differences.
Yeah. On days when she wasn't on this call sheet at all, she'd be.
You just show up and
like,
how's
it
going?
I'm method. I don't want to hear it.
Just
like
running in.
Did they have like a shorthand for crew to call?
Yeah. There was people with like nets. There was people with nets.
Mara can't unsee what just happened.
Listeners, picture, if you're not watching this on YouTube, picture a chainsaw made of tongues, and that's the repetitive like speed that Meredith can replicate.
Please, I beg you, anyone, please don't turn that into a GIF or something awful. Just let's all forget.
Yeah.
Let's say something funny, distract everybody, please.
Well,
I like to shoot residentalien with my friends. Not even.
As we're wrapping this up, because I want to let you guys go and enjoy your day, but also like my face hurts from laughing so much. What is, if there's something you want to bring up for the end of this podcast, but is there something you want to promote, want to give a shout out to, that will go along with this live stream, with this podcast episode?
I just posted today, I don't know if you know this, but Taylor Blackwell, who plays Harry's daughter, she's also a singer, and she has a remastered song that came out today called So Sweetly. And it's just this cute little like punk rock type style song. And I posted about it. So if you didn't know, now you know, go check out Taylor Blackwell's music.
Love that.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it.
Love it.
It's
I
right.
love to listen to her. I can't wait to listen to her.
And please
Right.
watch
I would
Love
say
Island.
if you're watching this right now, make sure that you're registered to vote in the midterms coming up. There's a midterm election
November
that
8th.
will basically determine, it will determine the fate of the world. Like it's like super Avengers style. Thanos, I think, is running somewhere. So, and I'm not being partisan. You can vote for Thanos if you want, but there are candidates who will take your abortion rights away. And there's candidates who will restore them, and just check those out where you live, because it's really important. And I'm kind of excited about like the next, because every election is the most important of our lifetime, and people get so sick of that. And it's like, yeah, because that's what voting is.
Yeah.
You got to keep participating. It's not a fucking monarchy. People are just like, oh, it's always important. Yeah.
That's the whole.
How it works. We have a voice.
And they keep going. Oh, so what? 2 years from now, there's going to be another. Yes. Anyway, that's my promote.
They should have you in front of the voting booths. Just
That's
let
illegal.
it go all day.
Literally
every day.
me in front of the voting booth.
Just you.
Yeah. It's carpetbagging. I don't know.
What are you promoting there? Your turn.
Well, on that token, there's a great organization that I have volunteered with a couple of times, and will be volunteering with on Thursday. But if you do feel sometimes like there is nothing you can do about what's going on and it feels unreachable, a really amazing thing to do is get involved with a group called Knock for Democracy. They do grassroots calling. They talk to people on the ground in elections where the vote is crucial to the safety and well-being of all of our citizens. And They do it with compassion and love for everyone that's part of the ethos. They do it with compassion and love for every person that they speak to, regardless of what their politics are. And they have truly helped to move the needle and engage people who felt like they weren't being heard or they didn't matter. And I feel the reverberations of the work they do. And, I've volunteered with them a handful of times, but I'm very, very inspired by what they're doing. And I have a lot of friends who are in leadership there. So if you have a minute and you want to try and you want to actually do something with your body or your time, Knock for Democracy. You can find info about them on Instagram. You can get to their website. You can sign up for a session where they'll train you. They give you all the information that you need. It's really easy and user friendly. And then you can get to calling and talking to some people and sharing some compassion and humanity. And maybe we can put out a tiny bit of this dumpster fire.
Merritt, do you want to reenact a call really quick? You do Knock for Democracy, what it's like to call, and I'll do the person picking up.
Oh God, this isn't going to go well for me because I really don't want to misrepresent them.
Okay, well, just do it how you normally, except without Knock for Democracy.
They pick up and you say, "Hi, I'm Meredith. I'm calling you from Knock for Democracy today in regards to the XYZ election coming up."
Hi.
Hi. And I was just wondering if I could have a minute. Would it be okay? Could I have a minute of your time to talk to you a little bit, to ask you a couple questions about this upcoming XYZ election?
Well, I'm busy because I have these squirrels, and I'm honestly, have you ever raised squirrels before? Because I've got a couple that I've raised squirrels a lot, and these squirrels that I'm raising now, I feel like they're kind of, they're pair bonded with each other. But also at the same time, I think they're trying to procreate. I don't know. It's just kind of an issue. So anyway, what you calling about?
Ma'am, are these Alaskan gray squirrels?
Yeah, that's right. That's the kind that they are.
You need to get out of the house.
Oh gosh. Well, I don't have a house. I actually live in a hollowed out tree stump with the squirrels, obviously. Come on now.
What are you, all right, now.
What am I wearing? I'm glad you asked. I'm wearing an apron in the front, another apron in the back, and another apron tied up as like the front, like a halter. Thanks for asking.
See, it's really easy.
Yes. I am not affiliated with Knock for Democracy. I'm only a volunteer. So don't get it twisted.
Easy. It's obviously very easy.
It's so easy. It's wonderful. And I'm volunteering with him on Thursday. So join me.
Yes.
That
I'll say
was a brilliant fictionalized version of what they do. I'm just going to keep clearing it out for Meredith's sake, so no one comes.
Nothing like what they do.
Always easier than that.
It's not
never anywhere near that.
It's not. That's just we're pretending, acting, that kind of thing, right? That's a thing.
But look how good she is at it.
I'm the squirrel now.
Gorgeous.
Okay, that will be a meme.
Too horny.
That will be a meme. God, how do you even pivot away from that? You can't.
Mama boo.
Boom.
Mama ram.
Goose fraba.
Guaba guaba laba.
Baba guaba laba. That's it. Baba guaba laba. That's how you live. That's how you do
those awkward goodbyes, right? Isn't that what
yes.
it?
So Baba guaba laba. Now it's stuck in my head. We are going to end this live stream, Meredith. I feel really bad that you didn't know it was a live stream, by the way.
Don't worry about it.
But nothing went wrong, so it's cool.
Oh, it's really cool.
What we're gonna do now is, sorry, Alice, I got stuck in the voice. We're gonna do what we call awkward goodbye.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. And when I point, oh shit!
Dang it!
Oh my God!
Alice,
okay.
Alice, how did you get in here? Oh my!
Bye.
Oh. So that ends our Resident Alien reunion live stream. I want to thank all of you guys for watching, for listening. Please give this show a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Give it a like, give us a subscribe to the YouTube channel too, if you wouldn't mind. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for thank you to everybody for tuning in. God, my face really does hurt from laughing. And yeah, this is PWRP.